I'm Melissa. I'm 42 years old. I was a member of the Minnesota National Guard, and I've done 2 deployments to Iraq. One as a specialist / E5, and then one as a staff sergeant. Pretty much they tried to attack us on 90% of our convoys, so that was a lot of attacks. I've been shot at, I've had RPGs come to me, and I've seen IEDs go off 2 trucks in front of me and take the back of a truck off. In our unit, we had 1 KIA and killed in action, and we had 3 serious injuries. I think sometimes that knowing after our first serious injury, he was burned over a large percent of his body, that any time that you went out and you were attacked, you knew what could happen to you. So it added a level of fear, even if their attacks were unsuccessful. When I left, my oldest child had gone to a different state to live with her father. She decided never to return to live with me full time. I had 3 small children at home, and they were, 18 months older when I got home. So there was definitely an issue with me having not been a parent for 18 months to go back to trying to be a parent to little children who now are older. When you're deployed, you're not constantly waiting on somebody else. And when I got home, my children needed constant waiting on. So, there was frustration that they weren't capable of taking care of themselves because, soldiers around me had been capable of taking care of themselves. So I pretty much immediately started counseling at the vet center for adjustment counseling to help me focus on how to be part of my family that I didn't feel like I was a part of anymore. There was a lot of focus on not reacting initially, to get rid of my Army voice when I talk to my children, and that there's a voice that you use when you talk to children, and breathing techniques that if I got frustrated, I was to breathe before reacting. That I couldn't bark orders to my children, and things like that. Society as a large think. They have this opinion that veterans should be men and not women, and if women are vets and they've gone over there, then they've stayed on post and they're nurses and they push papers, and that they're not combat vets. And I am a combat vet. For a while I was a gunner, and then I went to just driving trucks, but I was attacked. I did see gunfire, and society as a large doesn't recognize that, and it's really frustrating. I think being older at the time that I deployed, when a 23-year-old loses his eye and I'm 36, I know what lifetime means. A little bit more view of how long and lasting these effects are. Being older, I saw that the kids that were 18, 19, 20 went over, and they gained 5 or 7 years maturity or more in a year and a half. And the effects on them, I think women take that a little bit more personal. My first deployment, I did suffer from insomnia. I could only sleep for 3 or 4 hours at a time. Driving on the road to this day, if a vehicle's broken down on the side of the road, I will get as far away from it as I can. I did go back to Iraq, and some of the symptoms of my PTSD have gotten worse, and I did actually, after a year of being back and noticing I still wasn't myself, I did go to the VA and say, I need help. They did medicate me. The first medications didn't work. They then switched up, and I am starting a 10-week program to deal with actual PTSD issues. I have a lot of avoidance issues. In the last year and a half, I don't go anywhere unless I'm meeting a vet, somebody I know. I don't go places on my own. I've had anxiety attacks at my own grocery store. I live in a very small world that I've created for myself. I have my gas station, my grocery store, my Target. And I don't tend to like to go outside of my comfort zone unless I'm either taking somebody with me or I'm meeting somebody. I ended up having to take a break from the National Guard because drill became too hard for me to go to, and that's when I contacted the VA and said, I need help. I can't function up to my standards that I have. I'm not living up to my own standards. at some point you get tired of your life as it is, or I got tired of my life as it was and needed to do something about it. Life's too short to be miserable. I don't want to see anybody else come back and be miserable. And sometimes it is just admitting, I need help. My life's important, and I deserve having my life returned back to me. And so does any other vet that's been over there. And so, if they need help, there are resources out there.